Hi everyone, thanks for joining us again. We're bringing you episode number 17, the Universal Revelations from the Triangles of the Great Pyramid. This lecture will be a slide lecture done by Bernard, and we're going to go through every slide, and he's going to explain what each slide means, and we'll have maybe a discussion at the end about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. You won't be able to see us in this episode because we're behind the cameras, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Bernard?
Hi everybody. While serving in the Army from 1952 to 1955, I had 3 experiences that had a profound impact upon my thinking. 2 while I was serving as an infantryman in the Korean War. 1 was UFOs, 2 the death of so many humans. And also I witnessed mass hypnosis in a service club that I was in charge of. These 3 experiences provided the motivation for me to search for answers. My desire for answers led me to the Rosicrucian Order, which I have now been a member for 53 years, into my 53rd year. Other organizations, as well as being a Freemason. I am a member of a group called SYMBOLIcal, which is a committee to eliminate media offensive to African people. Lifetime member of Veterans of Foreign Wars, and all other organizations, other veterans organizations. I was a board member of Cambria Heights Civic Association for about 28 years. Other lectures that I give are Come and Hear What You Haven't Been Told Concerning the Life and Teachings of Jesus the Christ, Reincarnation, Fact or Fantasy, UFOs, Fact or Fiction, one called The World Saviors, a brief history of the Rosicrucians, which I'll give, and the traditional and historical history of Freemasonry. This slide lecture is presented to show how certain numbers and symbols are used to express universal law, and that these laws were known thousands of years ago by the masters and adepts of ancient mystery schools of Egypt. These masters and adepts were well versed in physiology, physics, psychology, biology, and cosmology. They realized that this knowledge had to be preserved for future generations. Therefore, they could not depend upon any one language or any one system of registering thoughts. It would have to be based upon some method that would be eternally permanent and recognized. Therefore, geometry, mathematics, and the principles of cosmology were combined to use as the fundamentals of a language. In other words, numbers were used to express the order of the universe, and symbols were used to represent those numbers. The name pyramid is from the Greek language. The word pyra means fire, or light, or illumination. The word midos means measures. The pyramid then meant something that constituted measured revelations, or revelations through measurements. A manuscript is said to be preserved in Oxford, which states that the pyramid contains the wisdom and the acquirements in the different arts and sciences, that they might remain as records for the benefit of those who could afterwards comprehend them. The Great Pyramid contains the knowledge of the stars and their cycles, along with the history and chronicles of past times and predictions of things to come. That it had been carefully planned and so constructed that in all its interior and exterior symbolism, it would represent certain fundamental laws of nature, as well as preserve in its inscription an outline of the great knowledge which they had achieved. Even Josephus, the ancient Jewish historian, wrote in his famous records a reference to the pyramid and its significance, in which he states that the ancient people planned to build and actually did build two great pillars, one in brick and one in stone, upon which the ancients inscribed their discoveries and marvelous knowledge, that they might be preserved for the future. If we turn to some of the oldest records available, the Bible, we find the Great Pyramid unquestionably referred to. In Isaiah chapter 19, verse 19 and 20, we read, quote, "In that day there shall be an altar to the Lord in the midst of Egypt, and it shall be a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt," unquote. Also in Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 18 to 20, we have another reference which in the light of time can refer only to the Great Pyramid, including the following words, quote, "which has set signs and wonders in the land of Egypt," unquote. This slide lecture will show how the triangles of the Great Pyramid and their numbers are related to many things observable throughout nature. All things in nature are dual, positive and negative, or active and passive. Everything that is manifest is the product of two elements. These two elements must be different in polarity, but at the same time have an affinity for each other. One is never complete. It is the beginning of something. Two being its opposite half must combine with the one to form the third condition. At the point where these two elements meet, a third condition or manifestation occurs, which carries properties of both elements. The 3 stands for perfection. To create the point with you. Okay. The 3 stands for perfection. To create an atom, two electrons of opposite natures, negative and positive, must come together. Single atoms are invisible and do not manifest any definite chemical nature until they unite in certain combinations to form atoms. To create a molecule, 2 atoms of opposite natures composed of positive and negative electrons must also join together. Electrons unite to form atoms. Atoms unite to form molecules. To create an electric current, there must be voltage and resistance. For a force to change its motion, there must be a mass. All of these are examples of the law of the triangle. The law of the triangle is a natural law of which there are many examples. There are 3 levels of consciousness. One, the objective mind.
Guys, just to let you know that the little red dot you see is Bernard pointing to something that he's referring.
The objective mind. One, the objective mind or consciousness, which makes us aware of the physical world through the 5 senses. 2, the subjective mind. I'm going to get a little pause in here because I'm trying to find where I left off. 2, the subjective mind and consciousness, which stores that which is gathered through the 5 senses. What you get from here through the objective mind is transferred more or less to the subjective mind, and it's stored there. That's imagination and other things that are recorded. in the subjective mind.
Why don't you try holding the red beam steady when you're doing it? That way, because there's a delay in the video. So hold it there for a second so the viewers know what it is you're talking about. Like, yeah, move it very slowly along as you're doing it. And if you're pointing to something, hold it there.
Okay.
The viewers can know. It's hard from our angle because I'm doing I'm the cameraman.
The subjective mind has to do with reason, will, habit, recollection, imagination, etc. And third, the subconscious mind, which is directly related to the cosmic or universal force, or universal mind, permeating everything. This is the intelligence. Once it gets into the physical body, you can see the objective things through the eyes, through the windows, or so what they call the eyes, and everything that you pick up here and see from here is stored here. It becomes a part of the cosmic. Once that cosmic leaves, everything that was learned leaves with it. That's the intelligence, permeating everything. The cosmic is the totality of the laws and phenomena which manifest in man and nature. The forces, here's seeing, feeling, tasting.
I'm going to have to zoom in at a funny angle.
All right.
So what part do you want to do first? The bottom part?
Yeah, that's the bottom. That's the objective mind.
All right, I'm going to zoom in for the viewers to see what it is we're talking about.
Which stores through the five senses, is stored in the subjective mind.
All right, let's do that again.
Seeing, tasting, smelling, so forth, the senses are recorded by the objective mind, or are seen and recorded in the subjective mind.
Okay, just a minute.
Everything that's seen by these, experienced by these senses, are stored in the subjective mind.
Up in the middle.
This is the subjective mind.
And at the top?
And at the top is the cosmic mind. That's what permeates everything. That's like the soul coming into the body and seeing through these, and feeling through these senses, the physical world. What is seen through here, the physical world, is stored in the subjective mind, and also is captured by the cosmic mind. But while in the body, it's in the subjective mind. If the soul was to leave, the cosmic mind was to leave, all that is stored there is a part of the cosmic. It's never lost or forgotten. The cosmic is that which flows through man, giving existence to the other levels of consciousness, as is shown here. There are three kinds of corpuscles, corpuscles in the bloodstream. There are the red cells, the white cells, and the tiny platelets. And there are three kinds of white cells: the granulocytes, the lymphocytes, and the monocytes. In the human body, there are three vital sections. The abdominal,
just bear with me, guys.
Area.
I'm trying to get
the abdominal area,
right for you,
which holds the organs which renew the body through digestion. 2. The chest area, which contains the heart, where the negative blood formed from the food that we eat, which is then sent to the lungs to obtain the positive element from the air we breathe. In order to have a balanced blood cell, a balanced blood cells, good. And of course the head.
Could you describe to the viewers what each line,
even
with the
though
small lettering, what it represents?
This is like what they call the sympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
These are what you'd call the...
Just move it slowly as you're going across.
These are the lines connecting, showing us how it's connected to certain areas of the body. Healing is distributed through these, I think it's what they call plexus. When the body is ailing, these areas send healing energy to these parts of the body. But I'm not concerned with that right now. I just want to show that the brain, where the head is, contains the brain where thought is given. In the mystery schools, it is said that man, who is governed solely by his stomach and bodily appetite, cannot advance very far. He would, number one, remain in darkness. A man sensitive to his sentiments and emotions, symbolized by the heart, moves from the darkness into number two, the shadows. Man moves from the shadows into number three, the light, when he uses the head or thought to contemplate the mysteries of the triad. Number one, man. Number two, nature. And number three, the creator. The eye can only see colors when the light is relatively bright. The cones of the eye used in color are of three kinds, responding to light from the red, blue, or green portions of the visible spectrum. The three colors to which the cones of the eye respond are known as the three primary colors of light. Equal intensities of all three producing white light. This is known as the production of color by addition. The effect being used in color TV tubes where phosphorus glowing red, blue, and green are employed.
So these colors we're looking at are white, red, blue, and the last one is green.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are three physical dimensions: length, width, and height. All variations of chords stem from the C major chord, which is C, E, and G, each a third apart. They are C, as you can see, C, E, and G. To make a C major chord into a minor chord, the third note is lowered a half step. The triangle even applies to the voice, especially when singing. I became a student of a vocal art science master, and I got that from his book. I ordered it because it was out of print, and I sent it to that book to San Jose, to a library, so they would have it.
I'm just, Bernard, I'm just magnifying the,
okay.
so our viewers can read it. Could you, do you know each one on the top?
Yeah.
Could you read it?
Well, no, that's not important.
Okay.
That's not important.
But let me just show it to the viewers just anyway.
Yeah.
So our viewers can see it.
The important part is here, the triangle.
Okay.
That's what my teacher developed in people who are studying voice. He gets them to use this as support to the voice, so the vocal cords won't be strained. It leaves them free if you're using it properly and the voice is placed in the proper place. And it's called the dynamic pyramid. There are, now if one can put their hand on each side of their body, right here, where the soft tissue is, and take a breath, and like you're clearing your throat, you will see this will expand. They will move outward. The one down here will also move outward. These give support to the vocal cords. once the voice is placed properly. All you have to do is take a deep breath and clear your throat, press in on that on the soft tissue, and you will see it move outward. And then you feel it. That's what gives support to the voice.
I just tried it, guys. Alright, let me zoom in before you explain. Well, yeah, you can start explaining.
Okay. We have three... Wait, I don't want to get to that yet. Alright, I'll do that. We have three kingdoms. The animal, the vegetable, and the mineral. There are three parts on each hand. This is not show here though. I'll explain that. There are three parts on each hand, the thumb and first two fingers, that radiate an energy through that which is called the radial nerve. This energy is constructive in nature and is used in the laying on of hands when healing. There are 3 months for every season. 3 months for spring, 3 months for summer, 3 months for autumn, and 3 months for winter. The fixed signs of the zodiac are in triplets. The earthly sign, Capricorn, Taurus, where's Taurus at?
The bottom near Gemini.
Yeah, Taurus, and Virgo. That's the Aries sign. No, I'm sorry, that's the earthly sign. The Aries sign is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The fiery signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And the watery sign is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The slide with the point... Oh, that's the same thing, just in a different way.
I'm just going to zoom in just a little bit, okay? Give me 1 sec. Alright.
Oh, that bottom part. Alright, I'll skip that. Let me see. The triangle with the point up represents the physical laws of a material nature, ascending or evolving. Whereas the triangle with the point down represents the law of a spiritual or higher nature descending, bringing about the material manifestations. This slide shows how electrons, which the ancient mystery schools referred to as spirit energy, descending and uniting to form matter. You have, you have negative and positive electron uniting to form atoms. Negative and positive and negative atoms uniting to form molecules, which becomes matter, becomes visible. To the ancient mystery schools, the double-stepped pyramid became a symbol to them of the soul, the inner positive or active self. Keep reading the wrong thing. And the physical negative or passive self ascending in perfect union, called the marriage, because of the coming together in perfect balance of body and soul. Examples of this perfect union would be Jesus, Buddha, Krishna of India, Horus, Ra, and Osiris of Egypt, Laertes of China, Pythagoras, Zoroaster, Mithra of Persia, and more. Their physical body and soul became so blended that the soul, the divine within, could express itself perfectly. Now, we will take a trip to a land where knowledge of many of these laws were known in ancient times. Everybody just get on the bus and we'll get to where we have to go.
That was a joke, guys.
To do so, we must travel to the continent of Africa, to the land of Egypt. We arrive at night and come across an awesome sight. There before us is a dark figure of the Sphinx, as if guarding the Great Pyramid of Giza. The Great Pyramid has stirred the imagination of man for countless years. It has been the subject of many commentaries and theories as to its construction and purpose. There are many who believe that it was built as a tomb for a king who, because of his vanity, wanted to have the largest burial place. Some say it was used as a water purifier. Others say it was built by beings from Atlantis or by aliens from outer space. There are also other traditions and legends regarding the construction and purpose of the Great Pyramid. A prominent one is that it was built as a hall of initiation with an underground temple for those dedicating themselves to special services in the secrets of the mystery sciences of Egypt. This unique diagram shows a reception center, and a circular temple, with secret passageways leading to the three pyramids. There is a stone tablet here in front of the Sphinx where the candidates, before going down in the stairs, would utter certain sounds that is said, where it was said this stone would move.
Where's the tablet you just
right in front of the breast of the Sphinx.
That little line
right there, right
keep
there,
it steady if you can.
That looks good. Huh?
Okay. Just keep it steady, yeah.
Right there.
Right there, okay.
Right. The stair, there's a secret stairway that goes down and they enter in. This is when they study, where they study that. The mysteries of life.
And this is from the order.
From the order, yeah. The order goes way
The
back.
Rosicrucian order, guys.
It wasn't called at that particular time the Rosicrucian order, but their sacred symbol was a rose with a single red cross. It became, over a period of time, called the Rosicrucian order, the Rose Cross Order, Rosicrucians.
Okay.
And they did find, those who don't believe that such a thing could occur, a stone moving by sound, they say scientists did find in Egypt a gate that would open by sound and water that would display and do certain things by sound. This was proved by a person who was a member, I guess, of the mystery school. I'm not sure, but he had to be in order to know this, I guess. His name was Heron, I think, Heron. So this proved that this could be done. But whether that massive stone could move, well, this is what they say. Considerations as life after death. Oh, this diagram is said to have been made from manuscripts possessed by the archivists of the mystery schools of Egypt and the Orient. The mystery schools of the Old and Middle Kingdoms were well versed in the physics of the earth and of man's material nature, as well as such considerations as life after death. Their investigation into the mystery of life and death led them to the discovery of the immortality of the soul and reincarnation. Those are the
just for you guys to see, I'll zoom in a little more. Okay, you can start.
Passageway to the various pyramids where they went into.
Okay, I'm going to zoom in on the upper half first, so you can describe the upper half.
Yeah, these are the three pyramids.
This is whose chamber? The Queen's?
That's the King's chamber, I think. That's the King's chamber, I believe, yeah.
Okay.
That's the Great Pyramid.
Okay.
From what I remember, yeah.
Alright. And this is the other one?
Yeah, these are other pyramids.
And the one on the upper top,
Mm.
that is another pyramid.
Yeah, yeah. And these are the passageways from the Sphinx.
I'm just going to
underneath
zoom
the
in.
ground. They would go there and they would go to various pyramids for certain ceremonies, for certain things. And they probably know this now. I mean, they've been examining the pyramids and so forth, but it's hard to release all this information, because then they would have to take back all the books that they put out stating other things, stating their theories. If they find that their theories are not fact, then they're going to have to take all those books back. So they're not going to put it out, because too much money would be lost. Profits have to be made. Most that's the same, that was the same. Most, if not all, know through study excuse me, that the Great Pyramid is in the land center of Egypt. But let it be known to those who do not know that the Great Pyramid is also in the geographical center of the land surface of the world as it now exists. In other words, if we take a map of the earth as it now exists today and spread it out on a flat surface and draw lines upon it which are in accordance with the land surface areas, we find that these crossed lines indicate the center of the land surface of the earth as being precisely where the Great Pyramid stands. These ancient mystical philosophers and scientists gave to the planets names which we retain to this day, and they made references to their orbits and transits and eclipses and other astronomical phenomena, which definitely prove to us that they were fairly well acquainted with the universe in which they lived, as well as with the size and nature of the earth. Those masters and adepts of the mystery schools discovered many marvelous laws of a universal nature, and they found that these laws could be expressed by the number 3 symbolized by the triangle. No. All right, we'll get to that. Symbolized by the triangle, number 4 symbolized by the square, number 7 symbolized by the triangle and the square, and number 12 symbolized by the pyramid. Modern science has found many elements in the earth that are triangular or pyramidal in crystal formation,